Google is the king of internet search. Is this a problem? The U.S. government thinks so.
Oh, don't they know about
And
Bing?
Microsoft.
don't they?
Bing?
Don't they know about Bing and Ask Jeeves?
I mean, or DuckDuckGo.
Oh, DuckDuckGo. Yeah.
They all know them because they're all on a lawsuit or they're all on a monopoly case against
wow.
Google.
That's crazy.
They're all on it.
Okay.
So Google has been wrapped up in this monopoly case, and it's all surrounding their dominance in the internet search domain, which includes a lot of other avenues of income.
That's interesting. They are the kings of internet search, and I have to say that because
When you agree with that, do you agree with it because you believe they're the best internet search, or do you think Bing and other ones are the same?
I think it's because I found convenience just using Google. I also downloaded Chrome too. So
Really?
yeah, I'm a Chrome user, which eats up a lot of eats up a lot of what is it, memory, RAM?
Yeah. A lot of RAM.
Yeah.
But which is kind of interesting because I know you use an iPhone.
Oh yeah, I do.
Do you use Google search on iPhone?
Yeah, I downloaded Chrome.
Oh, you download Chrome?
Yeah,
on iPhone?
I downloaded
you
Chrome
don't
on
use Safari?
No, I don't use Safari.
Do you use Google search? Like they have a search bar. Do you use the Google search bar?
No, I don't think so. I think whenever I open
interesting.
stuff up, it automatically opens to Safari, but then I open it in Google Chrome.
Interesting. So, okay. So I will get back to that because that is a point that people are making. And the counterpoint is what Microsoft is saying. So for those of you who don't know, Google has been paying Apple billions of dollars to be the default search engine for their devices. Did you know this?
No, I didn't know this actually.
Me either.
Yeah.
So, they're paying actually like 18 to 20 billion dollars a year to Apple, which is an insane amount. But this has supposedly conditioned consumers into being more used to using Google. And Microsoft is not very happy about this because they also have, as you mentioned, their own search app, Bing.
Yeah, that is true.
But do you know what Microsoft was accused of having a monopoly over not too long ago? Well, as in, when I say not too long ago,
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. I mean, they do have a thing with ChatGPT, but no, like a long time ago.
No, I can't remember.
Used to be the king of browsers.
Really?
It was on every person's laptop.
Internet Explorer?
Yeah.
Really? I did not know that. I generally did not know that.
Like a long time ago, Internet Explorer was the number one search or the internet web browser because it came pre-loaded onto all Windows PCs. So if you had a PC, you'd automatically have Windows or automatically have Internet Explorer,
yeah.
and you'd use Internet Explorer to search the web.
Yeah, true.
So it originally had the majority of people, and then it slowly started going away from Microsoft, which,
It's interesting that I didn't even think about that. I thought that they would be like the kings of operating systems because...
Oh, well, that too.
Yeah, I mean, like Windows was technically the only one until like Mac OS. But there was like Linux and all these other ones too, but...
They were saying that Microsoft was the gatekeepers of the internet at some point because they basically, you had to go through them to get through to the internet. So like if someone was going onto the internet, more than likely they were using Internet Explorer just because it was the default on the Windows system. And a lot of people use Windows devices.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah, so like why would a lot of people aren't going to go into the settings to change the default?
No.
Or download like Firefox or at the time like AOL browser or something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. I forgot that there was Firefox too, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I forgot that was
I mean,
there.
it still is a thing.
No, I know it's still a thing, but I just like honestly
or
the only
Opera GX.
Opera G. I didn't even know that, to be honest, because the only
The gamer
search, oh my god, the only search ones that I use are either Safari because it's on
Yeah, it's on
Apple,
Apple, yeah.
or Google because I download it and I go like it's my default on like whatever I do.
Okay, so back to the Google topic. Google has a large majority of the market share on search. Can you guess how much, like percentage-wise, people use Google to search?
70%. I'm throwing it out there.
Oddly enough, more.
Oh, what the? That's a
Yeah,
lot. Okay.
83.5% of people use Google as their search of choice, their internet search of choice.
I think it's because personally, I think Googling something has just become like a verb. It's like you could Google it
Interesting.
or like Google me or Google.
So, would you say that it's? Here's the question: is it just like the default, and you just use it because it's there, or do you use it because it's better than the other ones, perceivably better?
Honestly, I personally use it because it's the easiest thing. Like it's the most convenient thing and the thing that I've known for like a long period of time. I haven't really tried out really like any of the other search engines. Like I barely use Safari, but don't use like Bing. I don't use Firefox. Not even Internet Explorer.
So, yeah. Well, Internet Explorer is now Edge, but
Oh yeah,
Bing
that's true.
has, like you said that was a competitor, but Bing only has 9.2% of the market share for search engine searches or internet searches,
Yeah.
which is not a lot.
No, it's not a lot when you compare it to Google. Yeah.
But I mean, when you use your laptop or another Windows device, it'll have like the search bar, and that search bar is powered by Bing.
Yeah, I changed it right away.
Yeah, you change it right away.
Yeah, I
Oh,
changed
okay.
it right away.
I don't really use it, to be fair.
Yeah.
But the Google experience is one that like you just kind of know, and I feel as though they've gotten a lot of criticism for this, but I feel as a consumer it's very easier to use, or like more information presented easier. So Google will go into a website and then like take the information that that you'd want to know, and then like this paste it on the front. So if you Google search something, it'll like this go and pull up the text from that and display it.
Oh yeah.
So people aren't going and clicking onto the website to get to it. Google is just displaying it right after you search it.
Yeah, that's true.
So
you reminded me. I think it was like Wired does like 15 most searched questions or something, and it's like typically like I would say it's like the Google format. I think it's just in general Google as a search engine, Google as a verb, Google as just. I think it's just now so synonymous with search engines and like search history or searching something that people just have it ingrained. It's like, oh, why wouldn't I use Google as a search engine? Because it's like the thing that I know, and I think that I fall into that same thing where it's like I don't even try like
you wouldn't even
Bing.
think about using that one. You're just
Yeah.
like, oh, I need to find something. I'll know I'll find it on Google.
I think the worst one, this hot take, the worst search engine that I have used, Yahoo search.
Oh my goodness.
I know, true.
Fair enough. So, continuing on, we'll talk about another funny / spicy detail after you consider hitting that subscribe button and hitting that like button.
Yes, and you know what? We put out videos daily. We have a library of over 200 videos. I'm pretty sure there's something in our library that you probably will like. So make sure you check any of that out. And you know what? You could also subscribe. It only takes a second. It's free. And you get daily content like this.
So, for those of you who waited, this is the funny part that I was like kind of chuckling when I read this. Was apparently on the stand, the Microsoft CEO was talking about how they didn't like how Google was buying the default for Apple search. So he's like, oh, if Bing was the default, then more people would use Bing because they were more familiar with it. And through this, he basically omitted some interesting facts.
Oh, okay. Go on. I'm interested.
So he admitted that effectively, in a weird backward way, that Google search was better
Okay, that's interesting.
because of the way that these search engines work. And it depends on how many people are searching things. So if there's more people searching random stuff, the model for Google search has more data to work on.
Mm-hmm.
And because they have more data to work on, the search is much more complete because there's a lot of people feeding in data through searches and like what they're clicking on after the search, that it tailors the things to other people who search up similar things based on the other stuff. So like it's a better search experience. And he admits that because like there's less people using Bing, it's less of a lesser experience.
Yeah, it might feed you to a different thing that you weren't intending. Where Google, it's like you have multiple hundreds of thousands of people looking at like specific content that you were exactly looking for.
Yeah,
A more complete picture. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was upset about that, but he was saying that he has gone to Apple and offered to pay them $15 billion and any extra profit that Microsoft would make through Bing to Apple to have Bing be the main search engine. The default.
That's
and
interesting.
it continues.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
okay,
it's not just that you think like, oh, they're paying money.
Yeah.
And they're gonna give any profits. That's already wild. Like, what else could they do? It's like, and they said they would concede having the name Bing attached to the search.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Which is wild because like the branding, you'd have to have like some kind of branding. You're paying this, and you're basically giving money away. So that people will just be more used to it, but they wouldn't know it's what type of search they're using. I guess they really just want that data because they're using that search.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I'm like, that's a lot of concessions to make. And still, Apple's like, yeah, thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah. I mean,
which is wild. Like, you think like Apple would be like, oh,
it makes sense though, because I mean, they're giant, they're giant corporations. They probably have already a lot of funds. Apple's like one of the most valuable companies in the world, so it's like Microsoft and all.
Microsoft.
Yeah. So I don't think it was a thing about money. I think it was more so data. But I think Apple also probably wants to protect the user experience. So that's the other thing that I could see on why they would do something like this. Because if users are already used to using like this default like Google, then why would they want to change that,
Yeah, so you hit the nail on the head.
Oh, okay.
Apple kind of low-key burned Microsoft
God.
Because they both denied them, but also said that they believed that Google was the better search experience, so they were going to stick with the
Google.
better search experience. Because like you said, if the Apple users want they want the premium experience, and if the premium experience just so happens to be Google, then that's what's going for.
That's interesting. That is interesting to know. Wow, I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah.
So let us know down below if you use Google search, or if you believe that you'd rather use. I mean, DuckDuckGo, it has the whole feature where it doesn't track what you're searching. So, which is unlike Google, but the amount, like the type of data you get from a DuckDuckGo search might not be as nicely presented to you as a Google search. So
I wonder. Leave a comment down below if you use DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo?
I'm curious. I'm curious to know if you've gone this far.
If
you've gone this far, let us know in the comments down below.